Hello, welcome to the Infinity or Nothing podcast, where we allow our artists to be an artist and create whatever it is that we need to create, even if we fuck up, because I hear double right now in my ear. It is 2:22 a.m. over here in Seattle. Today we're talking about why artists can't be afraid to evolve. Without making it too much about myself as a creative, I also want to talk about the fear of change in art and creativity, the difference between evolving and chasing trends, some examples of artists who evolved and were ahead of their time, and why staying the same will keep you stuck, and why you need to keep evolving. So let's dive into the topics. Why artists can't be afraid to evolve. As artists, you are going to continue going through evolutions. The evolution of an artist, of a human being, is endless. I mean, for some people, they end up being stuck in their ways and they die that way, okay? They end up saying, this is who I am and I don't want to change, even if they are literally suffering, even if they are hurting everyone around them, including themselves, which is like the most important thing. Even if you're not worrying about what other people are thinking, you should still worry about yourself and see if like your own evolution is helping you grow or keeping you stuck. And I think as artists, especially, allowing yourself to evolve and grow with whatever it is you're creating, like me with these podcasts, me with these YouTube videos, me with these short films, I'm allowing myself to just create and evolve. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm not amazing at fucking everything, but the purpose is to allow myself to evolve instead of putting yourself into boxes and then being like, I gotta stay here until I figure it out. No, maybe that box just isn't for you and you need to evolve. Got my little thing here. Helps me concentrate. I recently found that out. As artists, it is important to allow yourself to become a new version of yourself as many times as you need to become the new version of yourself. It doesn't matter what other people think about you. It doesn't matter what your parents, your friends, whoever think about you. You need to keep evolving for yourself. Artists get stuck when they resist change. Many people want to hold on to what's comfortable, but the best artists, they push boundaries and create the future. There is no artist that I'm sure you love has stayed the same their entire career. Maybe eventually they ended up being the version of themselves that they wanted to be after the evolution, but as you were developing as an artist or a creative, especially early on, you're not going to know who you actually are as an artist. 1 second you might think, oh, I want to do this in this creative way. I want to do this in that creative way. But the point is to allow yourself to create. The point isn't to just be like, I need to stick with this and really just stay in this and really just stay disciplined. Now you are just jamming yourself into a box that you're probably going to hate. Me, personally, I hate perfectionism. I hate structure. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm not like the best music producer. I know that I'm not the best singer, but I still know that I'm an artist. I still know that I'm a creative person. And this idea that everything has to be amazing and perfect on the first fucking try is what's making you hold yourself back as an artist, because you're afraid to evolve. And with evolution comes a million fucking mistakes. Mistakes are going to come even if you know who you are, okay? They're going to come if you don't know who you are, obviously, but you kind of just can't be afraid of making those same mistakes over and over again. Obviously, you got to learn from the mistakes, but you're going to keep making mistakes as you're evolving. And that's okay. That's literally a part of the creative fucking process. Some things might work better for you, other things might work better for you, but you're never going to know if you don't allow yourself to evolve and flow with whatever it is you're creating. I think artists always get caught up in worrying about like what everyone else is going to like and if what they're creating is going to be okay. Especially if you post on social media, you're kind of like, oh, the algorithm's not going to like this. Oh, the followers I have now aren't going to like this. But if you're shoving yourself into a box that you don't like, who gives a fuck what everyone else is thinking? I have done that with some of my social media, most of my social media. When you're evolving, you're like, oh, this worked, so I gotta stick with this. No, that doesn't mean that. If it doesn't feel comfortable, it is okay to change and evolve. If it doesn't feel right, it is okay to change and evolve. You don't need to keep yourself in that box. The difference between evolving and chasing trends. Obviously, on the social media space, there are trends, and You can follow them in a way, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go fully into those trends. Like these videos, like this video essay style, I guess is like becoming big. I literally randomly edited one of my videos into like an essay style. Then I realized I was like, oh, I guess this is a video essay. And I'm not trying to shove myself into that video essay box. Like, I just am who I am. And I just like to talk about these things because to me, this is what resonates for me right now as like an artist and a creative is I need to allow myself to evolve. And right now I'm in that stage of a new evolution and who I fucking am. And I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a structured person. I'm going to make the videos I'm going to make. And if the right people see them, they'll like them. But, you know, if you're always getting caught up in what the trends are online and what's everyone else doing and I don't know who to be online, you got to pause for a second, all right? You can get inspiration from other people and what they're creating and their trends, but the point is to like steal like an artist and make it your own. You're not supposed to put yourself entirely in these boxes. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean that you have to do it, and doesn't mean that you can't copy it and do it in your own way and make it your own. There's so many creators online that do their own thing, but the best thing if you are an artist and you are creating online is to create your own version of the things and just get inspired from other people. It doesn't mean like you always have to come up with fresh ideas. This isn't a fresh idea what I'm talking about either, but it's my version. That's the thing. This is my version of the thing. And as an artist, as a creative, that's what you do. There's so many love songs created. There's millions of love songs created, and there's always going to be new ones created. That doesn't mean people can't write more love songs. They can write love songs from their perspective. And it's the same thing with art. It's the same thing with content. It's the same with any sort of creation. You can do your own version of it, and your own perspective in your own life is going to make it unique because you are a unique individual, hopefully. But what you're creating is going to be different than the next person. That's why I don't really worry about posting and being like, oh my God, people are going to like copy me or steal my idea. My ideas aren't profound. Like, I think whatever I'm creating is whatever. Like, I'm just having fun creating. And if other people copy it, it will never be an exact copy because nobody is you. Nobody can create what you create. Nobody has that same perspective and that same backstory that you have. Just create the damn thing. It doesn't matter if there's 50 million videos of that same topic. You are sharing your perspective on it and you are creating your art with that perspective. Two examples of artists that I want to talk about is Steve Madden and Kanye West. They evolved and they were ahead of their time, and what they created, or what their whole category of creations was always like unique in a way that made other people interested. But it's kind of like the same thing like I'm saying with the love song. Steve Madden made shoes. Shoes existed. Shoes aren't a new concept. He didn't invent the fucking shoe. It's just he invented his own style with the shoe, and then he invented his own way of reaching the masses with the shoe. I think that his whole thing is he had like a bigger production of shoes at the time in the 90s. I just remember the part from The Wolf of Wall Street where they like had him in that movie. I still don't know if that's like factual of what happened because that movie kind of has like over exaggerations, but he was just an artist that was like, I want to create these shoes and I'm going to make them my way and I'm going to make this style, but it was completely his own. He didn't invent the fucking shoe, okay? But he was ahead of his time with the way that he approached creating the shoes. And the same thing with Kanye. Like, he isn't the first person to be an artist, make music, be a rapper, but the way that he was like sampling his music, the way that he was storytelling, the way that even his new music evolved, he was always like a step ahead because he wasn't afraid to evolve and try new things and change. One other thing that about Kanye I wanted to mention was his like clothing brand. He again didn't invent fashion, he didn't invent the runway, but I liked how he created like his own sort of like fashion show where the models were literally just standing in the room. I liked it because it was different at the time. I think probably other people do it now, or maybe there was someone before him. I'm not sure, but He had all his models standing in a room. There was no runway, there was no walking. They were just standing basically like a museum. And that's what I thought was really interesting about it, because his pieces were really like basic in a sense. It wasn't like high fashion clothing or anything, but because of the simplicity of it, it made a lot of sense. And to me, it was impactful to see that. Like, I don't know, I never bought anything, but I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, that's you stepping out of your comfort zone. Because even for him, he's a rapper and he stepped into the fashion game. Like, that's so crazy, but it's so cool. You're never gonna know unless you fucking try. And he definitely tried also with like his Yeezys when he first made them. And what the hell were they called? I can't remember. I'll throw in like a fucking picture. Maybe I will be extra with this video. But they were like these first Yeezy shoes he had. I remember they were like so fucking cool. And they were expensive and they were exclusive. And they might have been with Nike, I think, right? Because then he switched to like Adidas. It was his whole thing. But again, he was a fucking rapper making shoes. Even though, like, that makes sense though, because fashion and rap really goes together, it still was out there for an artist to be doing fashion, right? But then, you know, other artists also followed him. Like, Rihanna went into the high fashion shit too. I mean, I don't think it did good because I don't know, maybe it did, but it was really expensive, so it wasn't marketed to her fans. It was marketed kind of poorly to like rich people basically, and like rich people aren't the majority of her fans, right? So I don't know, kind of a flop for her. As artists, you have to evolve and change. There's no staying stuck in that same like creative flow and thinking that it's just going to get better from there. And it's not about trying to please people and trying to, I don't know, keep like a new crowd of fans coming. It's about you as an artist. It's literally about like your own creative journey. That's why you have to allow yourself to create. It doesn't matter about following trends. It just matters that you are allowing yourself to flow. Even in those times where it feels uncomfortable and when you're doing something that maybe it isn't like the best thing ever, but whatever that little shitty creation is that you're working on, maybe like that's going to be like the stepping stone to like that really big, amazing thing that you create. But you would not know if you did not allow yourself to evolve. So to tie this all up, the best creatives are the ones that always step out of their comfort zone. I know that there's so many examples of artists. Like, you could think of like your favorite artists. Everybody has different favorite artists, but all the artists that I know, I have enjoyed them specifically because of their evolution or being a little different, being a little wonky. The best artists aren't going to be the ones that are just like bland and fitting in with everybody else and just conforming. Like, that's not what being an artist and being a creative is. If you are a creative person, you need to step out of the fucking comfort zone. You need to fucking evolve that way. You're not going to get to where you want to go as a creative person if you don't just try. If you don't just try something fucking weird. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. There are some weird creatives out there, but that do some crazy shit. But they're not afraid, at least, to like try something different. And every artist can try something new. It doesn't matter if you paint, if you make music, if you just dance. Like, the point is to try something new and even put like your own twist on something else that's already created. Like, you don't need to reinvent the fucking wheel, but reinvent it from your perspective and then give it a little flair, give it a little like change to it. Do something. Even me with sampling records, like, that's the same thing. Like, the song was already made. Like, we could just leave the fucking song alone, but artists are now taking records, sampling them, and making them their own. Just taking other artists' stuff and making it into their own version. Like, that's the point. As artists, you're supposed to do that. Even though this style of video is like new for me, I know that I enjoy doing it. I know that I enjoy the things I talk about, and that's where I want to come from it. I want to talk about things that I care about, even if this style of creation is really fucking different for me. Like, I'm not a professional, you know? I know for a fact that I don't keep a consistent kind of like script, but I want it to be like a conversation, you know? And I don't want to overthink it so much to be like, oh, I need this to be perfect, and then I need this hook, and then I need to do that. I don't care. With these videos, I don't care that much. These videos are just me talking about being an artist and being a creative. And the message will get to who it needs to get to. Okay. See, I would have never been here doing this, and I wouldn't have gotten somehow a bunch of subscribers from that one video if I didn't just try it. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know where this video idea came from to just sit down and like talk in a podcast form like this. I had a totally different podcast setting before, and I decided, I was like, I like this more like chill way of talking to the camera and just talking about something I care about. And for me, it works. It doesn't have to work for the entire internet. It can work for the people that find it, but for me, it works to talk this way, and it could evolve. Like, watch me be in like a big studio one of these days. I don't know if that is really what I want to do, but you never fucking know. Like, you never know until you fucking try. I think we're about to wrap this up, aren't we? Okay. So when I say art or creating, I think a lot of people automatically jump to just being a painter or just making music. But creativity is an umbrella that covers so many things: filmmaking, writing, design, businesses, fashion, whatever you're passionate about. If you want to dive more into what I mean by a creative and an artist, go look up the Artist's Way book, and you will find that everyone is an artist. Every single person's an artist, even if you've never drawn anything, even if you've never sang a song, sang a tune. Everyone's an artist, just with like the way we think, the way we look at the world. And some people, they don't think they are, and that's their own prerogative, that's their own fucking destiny, and that's not my fucking problem. Because I know they'll come into my comments and be like, but we don't need artists, we need... Y'all can go do that, all right? This is for the artists and the creatives. If you're not an artist and creative, why are you even on YouTube? If you don't like art and creation, why are you on fucking YouTube where everyone's creating, right? Everyone on YouTube is an artist, just so y'all fucking know. Like, y'all think this shit's easy? Good lord. The only way to grow is to allow yourself to change. The only way to create something new is to stop clinging to the old. So stop waiting for permission, stop overthinking, and just create. So what's one way that you're creatively evolving right now? Drop it down in the comments. I want to see the real tea, the real fucking tea, and don't hold back. Tell me some secret sauce that you're working on. Because again, it doesn't matter if you're sharing something that you feel like is like secretive. No one's going to create the way that you're going to create. So what are you creating that's different and new, at least for you? Maybe someone else has already done it, but you're creating your own version. So I think me and whoever else is reading the comments on this video would like to hear. And yeah, I hope you guys are liking this style of video. I'm not a perfectionist. I just like to edit some videos, throw in some clips here and there when I feel like it, and I don't want to make it too fucking serious. Like, it's really not that serious. Life is not that serious. This is not that serious. I'm not teaching someone how to like dissect a frog. It's really not that serious. It's just YouTube, guys. My name's Adelisa, aka Infinity. I am on my own artist evolution and creating things that are outside of my own comfort zone and trying new things, and I guess just hoping for the fucking best with whatever it is that I'm creating, and allowing source to come to me and tell me what to create, because otherwise I won't create shit and I'll suffocate, and then God, yeah, let's not go there. I need to create. That's why I'm here. I need to create, and I'm assuming you need to create, and you need some inspiration and some tea on how to evolve as an artist. Yeah. All right. That's the video. Y'all have a good day. Good night. Whatever.